Hey everyone, today is the day. It's that time to do my final review of these Audio-Technica Solid Bass headphones that I got almost a month now. Almost. Or is it? I apologize that this review took a little longer to put out than I had anticipated, because when I was reviewing the headphones and I was gonna complete the review, this Pioneer high-res digital audio player came in, and I wanted to test out the headphones with that. And then the this headphone DAC amplifier came in, and I wanted to test the headphones out with that. And so that's why the review took a little bit longer to put out than what I had anticipated. So I'm not going to waste you guys' time any longer by, like putting how I feel about the sound towards the end of the video. I'm going to tell you guys right now. So if you guys just want to know if I recommend this headphone and how it sounds, then this is it. Go get these headphones today. If you're into wired headphones, or you still like wired headphones for listening to music, go get them today. They are that good. These are now my favorite headphones for listening to music. They beat out my previous favorite headphone for listening to music, and that was my Beyerdynamic Custom 1 Pros with their bass sliders right here. So this is a bass heavy headphone with bass sliders, and this is I'm not gonna say it's a solid bass headphone, and I'll tell you why it's a solid bass headphone and not really bass heavy in a moment. But yeah, this has replaced the Beyerdynamic for listening to music. I still like my Wavzs KT1s for watching movies because of their PPS12 technology, and that's because this has like 6 drivers on each ear cup, so it gives me a better 3D surround sound experience when watching movies. The Wavzs does, but these are close behind for watching movies, behind the Wavzs. But for listening to music, anytime I want to listen to the jams or my favorite music, go to Tidal or my FLAC files, this is the headphone to get. And see, this is the thing. I never really thought in too much of this high-res audio right here that these headphones have. Actually, these are the only headphones that I have at the moment. Actually, this headphone and the Soundcore Life Q20, these headphones right here, also are high-res certified. And the high-res certification doesn't mean really much if you don't have a device to pair that high-res sound with. So if you have an LG V phone or the newest LG like G series of phones with the quad DAC, and you have a high-res music player to pair these high-res headphones up, it makes a world of difference. Oh my god. I mean, the sound is unbelievable. It like brings it up to a whole 10 different levels when you're pairing this with something that has high-res audio output capability. So that high-res branding is no joke. Pair it with the right device, like the LG V series of phones, a high-resolution player, and a high-resolution DAC. Oh my goodness. It's like listening to my music for the first time in a whole nother level. It just brings out so much more detail and clarity, and oh my gosh, it's just unbelievable. So I will do the separate reviews for these later. So let's talk about more of these headphones in depth. First off, let's talk about build quality. These are very good, very nicely built headphones. And I think they're Audio-Technica's prettiest headphones of the bunch. This and maybe those special colored looking MSR7s, which I might get. That also has the same type of color. But they're just light enough that you don't really notice the weight when you have them on. And actually, speaking of how light they are, these are probably some of the most comfortable headphones I have at their stock setting. Okay, like compared to the Fostex right here, I had to buy extra pads for these just to get them comfortable, and actually they sound better with the extra padding. These out of the gate, they sound good, and they sound really good out of the gate, and then they sound even better when you give them time to burn in. And like I said, the ear pads are replaceable, although I don't know if I want to replace these ear pads because I'm scared it might mess up the sound that it already has now. If I were to buy ear pads, like these ear pads ever wore out, I'd probably get them an exact replacement pair, only because with the stock ear pads is what I just enjoy the sound with these stock ear pads. I don't feel like I need to replace them. So let's talk about the build some more. This outer part right here is all aluminum metal, and it's really nice. It's got like these little vents here in the middle on the outside of this Audio-Technica logo. It also has an extra, let me see, like a little vent right here on each of the ear pads. See, there's a vent right there. And is there any other ones? These little extra vents or kind of like do the same function as Beyerdynamic's bass ports right here, for bass and for opening up the soundstage. So the ear cups, like I said, have a combination of aluminum or metal and some plastic, but the build is pretty solid. I feel like these headphones are going to last me a long time, and once they break, I'll probably get another pair. Not probably, I will get another pair. I love the sound of these headphones that much. So there's the ports right there, see the vents, and then the vents in the middle. So yeah, it's got a gold trim right here on the middle. The cord that it came with, the headphone cord, it had an inline mic. Is also a nice touch, and it's a quality cord. So here's the cable that it came with, and it's pretty thick, as you can see, compared to like most audio cables that are probably like this thick, as you can see. And it has an inline mic that I tested for phone calls, and it sounds pretty good. It sounds clear. And there were no complaints on the other end about if they could hear me real nice and, clear. But then again, that's also going to depend on the phone that you have, and also your phone company, if they have good service or good signal where you're living at. So no issues there with that cable or call quality using that cable for making phone calls. The inline mic on the headphone jack, headphone cable. And yeah, so build quality, nothing to complain about. I mean, out of the box, they're the most comfortable that I've worn, one of the most comfortable. And the sound coming out of the box with these ear cups are exceptional. So nothing to complain about. So build quality, 5 out of 5. Getting into more detail with that build, it would be probably part of it. If you guys haven't seen the unboxing, this is the box that the Audio-Technica's come in, and it's a very nice box. It's got a picture of the headphones, the high-res audio right there, so for audiophiles who want to get a high-res headphone with the solid bass. It's a very nice looking box, and it gives you a lot of, like, it's got the specs right here. It shows all the features right here. So it gives you a lot of information right even before you buy the headphones, without going into like Audio-Technica or doing a Google search for the headphones. It gives you a lot of information out of the box, or yeah, outside of this box. before you even decide to purchase it. If you were to see the the headphones, this box at a retail store like Best Buy or something like that. So special features, I guess that's pretty much it for build. Not really any special features other than the cable has an inline mic for making phone calls, and the inline mic sounds good. I already told you guys in the beginning you should get these headphones if you're into bass, because they're my favorite sounding musical headphones at the moment. They're very nice build quality. I don't know what more to talk about. It's not like these are wireless and they have touch controls and everything. There's no noise canceling on this thing. Speaking of noise canceling, these stock ear pads have a very good fit, at least for my ear. So noise isolation was very good. And so once I have these headphones on me and then I start playing my music, it blocks out the rest of the outside world, which is what you want from headphones, right? So that is good right there. So yeah, out of the box, there's good passive, noise isolation or noise reduction. But these aren't active noise canceling headphones. They're not Bluetooth, with any kind of special features like aptX and anything like that. They're just made to sound good and sound real good. So there's no special features other than, like I said, the cable with the inline mic. So let's talk more about the sound. So like I said before, I never really gave much thought to this high-res audio certification, because these are the only, well, these two, the Soundcore Live Q20 also is a high-res certified, are the only two headphones that I have right now, but boy do they make a difference. So let's talk about the specs. These headphones have a impedance or resistance of 38 ohms, and that's not too much. You can still, with 38 under 50 ohms, you can use the headphones that are under 50 ohms to drive them with your smartphone, if your smartphones still have a headphone jack. Otherwise, you will be looking at getting a headphone adapter like this one. And if you do get a headphone adapter, get one that has a built-in amp or a DAC, because it'll bring out the sound a little bit better, especially if you have a Tidal account. It's pointless to get a Tidal account, the premium Tidal account that has the high-res files like master quality MQA, master quality authenticated music files, if you don't even have high-res headphones. Like I said, these are 38 ohms, but when you drive them with like this high-res digital amplifier or digital audio player that has an amplifier, or you use an amplifier like this one, a portable amp, it just brings out that sound so much more. High-res audio is no joke. So okay, and back to topic. Specs. 38 ohms of resistance. The frequency range on these headphones is 5 to 40,000 hertz. And for a lot of you guys who know anything about frequency range or hearing, most humans could only hear, their hearing range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and that's how most headphones are, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. The thing is, so even though human beings, at least I think I'm human, even though we could only hear up to 20 hertz, 20 kilohertz or something like that, there's this phenomenon, and there's an interesting article. I'll try to see if I can find the link somewhere. And I think it was on Travel Insider blog or something like that when he was talking about headphones and hearing. But there's something a phenomenon with frequencies, that even though you can't hear per se, you could feel those frequencies. And a lot of you will know what I mean. That's exactly why Skull Candy, for example, in their crushers, they have those in the first crushers they put like these vibrations for the bass. Those like the vibrations on our phones, like those little vibrators or something like that, to give you an extra sense of bass. And even like higher frequencies, like super high frequencies, that even though you can't hear it, you can feel it. For example, you could download this clip. It's like a virtual 3D clip. It's called the Barbershop, and there's some high frequencies in there, like when the guy's using the clippers on your head. Even though you're not really, the clippers aren't really there, but you could feel it. And the higher frequency in that, the clipper sound in that 3D audio demo, it's like or virtual surround demo. You could even, like, it feels like my hair is actually going to get cut with clips, and I get like little goosebumps from the frequencies on that, from the sound of the clip, that hair clippers. So even though you can't hear the frequency ranges, like the lowest of the low frequency ranges, or the high frequency ranges, you'll be able to feel them. Think about like bone conduction technology. You guys ever heard of that? Bone conduction technology. It's a thing that LG also uses for on I think their latest G series of phones, and probably the V40 or V50 had that, where you could also make sound and you can feel those frequencies. Or the bass egg speaker, where it's just something like, it's not an actual speaker itself, but whatever you rest the bass egg on, it makes noises and frequencies depending on like the type of surface you put it on. Bone conduction technology, all those other things. So regardless if you can hear them or not, you can feel them. And I can feel that in these headphones, and man, it is something else. So like, if you listen to bass heavy tracks and these headphones, here's the thing: even though they're only 38 ohms, so you can drive them with a smartphone that still has a headphone jack, or a laptop. If you use these amped up, like with a good amp like this, and a good high-res digital audio player like this, you will feel the different frequencies, even though you can't hear them. And listening to my music, I could feel those. I can feel the rumbling on the bass. I could feel the vibrations. And on the higher notes, sometimes I have to turn the volume down, because sometimes those really high frequencies can get to me. It's something hard to explain, but I'll try to put links on the description of those little articles. So pairing high-res audio headphones like this, certified headphones, with a high-res player or a high-res amp is something else. It really is. And these headphones, like I said, they can be driven to louder and higher volumes, and you don't really get the full potential of these headphones. Just like the Fostech that I review coming soon, until you have it like paired up with a good amplifier and a good high resolution player, that it just brings the sounds, it just makes the sounds come out so much more detail, so much more clarity, so much more soundstage. Speaking of soundstage, this, for a closed back set of headphones, has a very wide soundstage. My previous favorite, these Beyerdynamics, I thought they had a pretty good soundstage for closed back headphones because of these bass ports. But I believe the AKG just beat out the Beyer, and that's why it's my favorite musical headphones for right now. Big, wide open soundstage for a closed back headphone. So let's talk more about the solid bass, or the bass in these solid bass headphones. The bass on these headphones are nice and solid, right? It's solid bass. It's nice and punchy. To quote a Bruce Lee analogy, he was talking about like a karate punch is like an iron rod hitting a board, and it makes when it hits the board, it goes whap. And then a kung fu punch is like an iron ball attached to an iron chain, and when it hits you, it goes blam. That's kind of like the bass on these things. Or think of it this way. You know how you have a knockout artist like Mike Tyson, a Conor McGregor, and then you have other fighters that, in order for them to knock you out, they have to hit you with a barrage, a volume of punches, right? Whereas someone like a Mike Tyson or a Conor McGregor, they could just hit you with one punch and lay you out flat. That's how this bass is right here. So it's very strong and punchy, but it's not gonna like overpower your mids or your trebles. So your mids and your trebles, when you're listening to music, even bass heavy music, or like voices, they still sound clear. It doesn't the bass doesn't muddy up the other frequencies. Like, I'll give you an example. These Soundcore Live Q20s, my other high res headphones, they have good sound and good bass at their stock. With the headphone cord, like I said in the review on these, it sounds even better in stock. But if you use it wirelessly, and it has that bass up technology by pressing the play button like twice, and I recommended not using that bass up technology because it muddies up the music. That's the same thing with other headphones that don't have that solid bass. Okay, the bass just overpowers and muddies everything up, and it doesn't sound wide anymore. It doesn't sound clear. The bass on these is there. It's very present, very punchy, very solid, and it doesn't muddy up the other frequencies. So that's why they have a very wide sound stage for being closed back headphones, and they have good clarity to them. So there's something to be said. I don't know what kind of drivers they're using, but whatever it is, it works. They have, like, Audio-Technica calls it their 53 millimeter deep motion high res drivers, and it's fantastic. It is fantastic. So, man, guys, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Get them today. They're very, very good sounding headphones. And for the price, I mean, when these first came out, they were almost like $300, $250. And I think on Audio-Technica's website, they still try to sell them for $250, $249. You get them through Amazon, it's only like $150 at the most. Sometimes they go down to like $129 on a sale. And they're definitely well worth the price for the sound. So did I talk about all the specs? Yeah, so the specs, the frequency, 5 to 40,000 hertz. So better than your average headphones of 20 to 20 hertz. And even though you can't hear beyond 20 to 20 hertz, you will feel it. And these, you can feel it, especially if you're listening to house music, rap music, deep heavy tracks. So I always have one or two songs that I listen to when I test out a pair of headphones, and I always listen to that one or two song. And if you guys want to know what those two songs are, it's Kendrick Lamar, Love, and The Weeknd, I Feel It Coming. And then I have other tracks that I listen to quite often for testing headphones. But they say if you want to really test out a headphone, if you do test headphones or whatever, like being a tester, you want to have one go-to song or track that you go to, just so you can compare it, because you'll know the song so well, you can compare it when listening to different headphones. It's like for example, your house where you live at, or your room. You know where everything is, right? You should know where everything is. Or your house, or your like front yard. You know how your front yard looks like, and you're so used to being a certain way, and if it's not a certain way, it kind of you will notice. Or like how your room is, you have it a certain way, and if something's out of place, you will notice. So you want to pick a song that you know real well, so that when you go from headphone to headphone, you will notice any difference, no matter how small they are. And so, yeah, with these headphones, I do notice the difference between listening to these, listening to this, listening to this, and listening to this headphones. There you can notice the difference in sound quality, in bass, in frequencies, in feel, how music makes you feel when you're listening to the different type of headphones and everything like that. So you will notice that if you have a track that your go-to track. And so with my go-to tracks, like I said, I do notice the differences between the different headphones. And like I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record. Get these today. They are that good. For the price, they're very good. And I don't know what more to say, guys. Build quality, 5 out of 5. Features, for the price, 5 out of 5. Sound quality, 5 out of 5. It sounds very good. Not necessarily audiophile. I'm not going to say I'm an audiophile, but I listen to a lot of different headphones, and I like listening to music a lot. And these are, like I said, by far my favorite for now, for listening to music. So highly recommended. If you're like an audiophile, or what I would like to say, like a beginning audio enthusiast or an audio snob, and you like bass, but you don't want too much bass or the bass to muddy up your other frequencies, these are the headphones for you. They're pretty good. You can make them sound neutral too if you have a equalizer. I use a power amp for my smartphones, an app called Power Amp, and I'm looking forward to testing these headphones with my new Monoprice THX portable amplifier that's coming soon. So it's going to be nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. These headphones have so many pluses. They have a good build quality. I like how they look. They're good looking headphones. At least I think they look good. They have the metal and like purplish copper and gold trim here on the ear cups. The ear pads are very soft. They're very comfortable out of the box, and they're pretty light, so they're not too heavy, and so you won't get any listening fatigue or wearing fatigue on these headphones. I could wear these headphones for hours, and I sleep with these headphones too. So very good build quality, very comfortable. Very good price. It's got a mic, or it's got a cable. It comes with the cable. It has an inline mic. It comes with this nice carrying pouch right here. I forgot to mention that, with the Audio-Technica logo. Very nice. I wasn't expecting that, only because the Beyerdynamics that I got never came with the carrying pouch. I mean, should they have included a carrying case, like a hard carrying case? No, because then that's just extra price. And like I said before in my other wired headphone review, on this review, the best sounding headphones, look it up, and your most expensive, most best sounding headphones, they're all wired headphones. They're not wireless. And this belongs in there as far as that. For wired headphones, these are one of the best sounding ones that you can get for the price. And there is such a thing that, like they say, the law of diminishing returns, where just because you get more expensive or buy something more expensive does not mean that it's going to sound that much better. Did I mention these fold or swivel so you can put them into the bag? That's another thing. So comfort, build quality, features, price, and of course sound. 5 stars out of 5 all around. This is a very good and very highly recommended headphone. If you're into solid bass, but you don't want the bass, muddying up your other frequencies, it's just good solid bass with very clear frequencies, or very transparent and wide soundstage. So a very good sounding headphone. Very good, excellent sounding, outstanding, incredible. So that is it for my review of these Audio-Technica Solid Bass right there, high res certified. So once again, you can get these on Amazon for, at least when I got them, they were like $139, but the price will differ. So use the link in my description if you guys are interested and want to know more about these headphones. I'll put the link for Amazon and Audio-Technica's website. But that is it, everyone. Thank you guys all for watching. If you guys got any value or learned something from the review, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at The Workout Geek for all my latest happenings and great workout tips. I felt like I'm already losing my voice because I talked these headphones to death about how good they are. Anyways, that is it. Everybody, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you soon for another video. Have a great day.